Hello and welcome back to Shelf Center. This is Bryce. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing. If this is something you end up enjoying, you never know, it could happen. As you could probably tell from my voice, I've been a little bit under the weather, hence why some older videos got posted last week that I shot at least a little bit ago. The show must go on, as they say, but actually this is the best my voice has been in a good solid 2 weeks. So anyway, figured it's time for a monthly update. See how November went, see what's going on in December, maybe some channel updates a little bit here and there, and we'll get moving. So anyway, let's jump into it. First things first, in November, I did finish reading Red Seas Under Red Skies. This is the first time that I've read it by Scott Lynch. Honestly, I'd heard a bunch of things going into it that it was kind of a disappointment for people, that people didn't love it all that much. I absolutely ate it up. I mean, I was living this world, and that definitely shows me I am loving a book. I absolutely had a blast with it. It's so clever. Scott Lynch just knows his characters so well and really writes them insanely well. We actually just wrapped up just this last week my Red Seas Under Red Skies discussion with Murphy Napier on her books channel, as well as Overly Average Ben and Grace Dion, and it was an absolute, like, it was just such a fun time. They are such good people and just insightful and intelligent. You kind of go like, I liked when they were on the boats. It's kind of how I felt like. So anyway, but I had a blast. I did have some issues with the book that I point out in the video. So anyway, look for that. I'll be posting about it in the community channel, the community part of the channel. Anyway, look for that. Had a blast with it. Like I said, it's same level. I think I still liked Lies better, but it's on the same level. It's right there, and it had some just genuinely like hilarious parts. I did read Baptism of Fire. This is actually the Time of Contempt, but my Witcher read. That's Witcher, technically number 3, but it's actually the 5th book now that I've read because there's the 2 short stories, and it was. I think it might be my favorite so far of the Witcher books. I was not able to make it to the live stream. I was still on vacation at the time, plus, as you can hear, I was actually sick during that time too. I mean, that was just one of the issues. So that was a really fun drive through Vegas on my way home. But like I said, Baptism of Fire, one of my favorites. I'm excited. So you'll see the next in the TBR, which apparently has only become now my buddy reads, read-alongs, anything that any peer pressures me into, even in the slightest way, not even just an invite, and I'm like, yeah. So apparently that's all you have, all it takes. Then I did read Soul Fraud by Andrew Givler. This is, I've talked about it a bunch of times, Sigils, the Sigils on YouTube, great Minecraft and gaming YouTuber, but also does a booktube channel and writes his own books. And I can affirmatively say, I mean, because here's what it comes down to. Like, a lot of these famous YouTubers will like write a book, and I'm always skeptical. It's like, are you writing it? Is it just ghost written? You're just making a buck. Like, I'm very cynical. I feel bad, but I am. I don't know. Given a lot of YouTubers, it's hard not to believe that it's definitely a ghostwriter and they're just making a buck. This is one, especially following Givler's, like, his booktube channel, his interviews on like Two to Ramble, which definitely goes sub to those guys. You can tell like he has a passion and loves this stuff, but on top of it, he can write, and it was hilarious. It was just a blast. It was along the lines, definitely like, it's urban fantasy kind of thing. So you can always like pull in Dresden Files. You know, there's some fairy elements, some different kinds of mythical beings. But this is involving mostly hell because it is soul fraud. But it's just a fun concept where this demon essentially takes our main character and like appears to him at his darkest hour and is like, hey, you want to sell your soul? You could have the best 10 years of your life ever, of anybody's life pretty much. And then he's like, no, I don't. Like, not even a question. Doesn't want to do that. I've read all the books that say you don't sell your soul to the devil. It only goes bad from there. And then the demon here, instead of saying, okay, I would like, apparently is unscrupulous, to say the least, and just signs his name there anyway, and he's stuck in the deal anyway. So it's just a really cool concept. It's interesting, and just kind of fighting back to get your soul back, I guess. And so anyway, it's got this great humor. Another one's kind of like is like Fin Fancy Necromancy is another that just lots of humor, but in an urban fantasy with like mythical things coming in. So anyway, excellent stuff right up there with just, anyway, the guy can write, absolutely. Then finally in the month, so this would be book number 4 for the month for me, Sandman Act 2. This is essentially the second like omnibus. I kind of looked at, I had to go to the bookstore, check it out. So it collects a bunch of different like Sandman graphic novels into one. So it's really well done. It's like James McAvoy's in it, Kat Denning, is that her name? So many stars. Anyway, and they just, the production value is insane, so it's worth just checking it out for that. But the story, it's Neil Gaiman. I mean, it's Sandman. It's dark. It's crazy. I mean, the first one of the stories, because it's really just, it's kind of episodic and really not tied together. I mean, some are. There's like Season of Storms or something like that. Anyway, there's different, like, it's clearly following each of the different graphic novels in the set, but it's like just a bunch that are kind of different stories, which I like. It's really fun because Game is just so creative. I'm sure he was just throwing out all of his creative energy at this. So it takes a lot of like religious people and like brings them to life, like religious myths. I mean, that's the most recent that I read, so that's what comes to mind. But I mean, like the first story is literally just like the Sandman has to go back to hell because he cursed somebody there for 10,000 years when he probably shouldn't. It was probably frowned upon. And then Satan just kind of goes, well, I don't want to spoil it, but anyway, Satan's down there like, well, he kind of, he did me dirty one time, so I'm going to get him. Anyway, and so it just like starts this whole thing. Anyway, it's not at all how you think it's going to go, at least not me. And I guess I'm a sucker maybe too, but it's so brilliantly done. It's insane. It's so good. Let's jump into December. As usual, I didn't get to all the things that I thought I was going to read in November. One of these things I really have to take a step back and go, okay, I'm part of a bunch of different buddy reads and whatnot. One of the first things is on my Discord, someone threw out, and I already kind of posted about this, but someone threw out, hey, let's do Lord of the Rings. Why not? Let's do a Lord of the Rings buddy read. So I am starting that. I'm already through the prologue here, and at the time of filming, probably, we're doing a chapter a day through December. There's 22 chapters, so anyway, you should be done by the 22nd, 23rd if you count the prologue, whatever. But we'll be chatting about it on the Discord. It's been so much fun already. Just a lot of people are involved. Anyway, way more than I thought were going to be involved. Because it's the Lord of the Rings. It's so much fun. It's classic. The prologue's a little slow. It's a little slow. I got to admit. Still one of my favorite books of all time. And again, I'm a sucker if somebody apparently just mentions, hey, let's just do that. And I am now reading Lord of the Rings. Then I will be continuing my Witcher. That's what I'll be jumping into. Also probably almost along the same lines, because we're doing it kind of, again, a slow read through the Lord of the Rings. So I got the Tower of Swallows, I believe is the next one. Editing Bryce knows all. And so anyway, I hope to actually be available for that live stream with J.R. Carroll and JCM Byrne, because they're just two good dudes that are fun, the Joes as I call them, that are fun to talk to about this stuff, and have really just ignited my love for Witcher, because I went into it literally going, I didn't like The Last Wish, and when I first read it, I read it again this year and absolutely loved it, and was like, who was that person that didn't like this? Because I had a blast. I loved it this time, and I've loved all 5 books that I've now read, and on to number 6. I'm looking forward to that as well. Then, like I said, we already did our Red Seas Under Red Skies wrap up. The question is whether the same people will be doing the Republic of Thieves, because that's on my TBR here. It looked like Murphy is. I can't help myself. There's a bit of a cliffhanger at the end of Red Seas Under Red Skies. I don't know if there's another cliffhanger at the end of Republic of Thieves. I know Lynch has kind of gotten back into things with some novellas and whatnot, so I'm excited to see how those go. but I can't help myself, and worst case scenario, yeah, it's a cliffhanger that I may have to wait some time to resolve, but at the same time, anyway, this has just been a really good chat with these great people, and so of course, I understand and learn so much more about the book as I'm talking about it with people that know what they're doing and that have read these, and I think only Murphy had read Republic of Thieves, though. So it'll be new for, I think, everybody. If it's the same group, it may be a different group, but I cannot wait. Again, I'm like, they're just the top tier fantasy, I'll be honest. All right, then, this one has been on my list too long. It's one I keep saying, I gotta finish this by the end of the year. I've said it like multiple times, and then it just, every single buddy read or read along or whatever that I'm invited to, I go with. And so then it gets pushed off. So I'm hoping to still fit this in A Sale by Ian Cameron Esselmont. It's the last in the Malazan Empire series. What I do is I put these off for a rainy day because I just want to just be able to imbibe it. I want to just drink it down in like a week. But I know my life never allows for that, never once in the last at least 15 years. I got to be realistic about things, right, Logan Nine Fingers? Just going to try to have to fit it in, okay? It's going to have to happen, even though I won't have the perfect time to finish out the main two Malazan series, and then there's tons more that I want to get to still. And this will be finally, if I have the time. I know I said this, I would read it last month, but Absolution Gap by Alistair Reynolds. Love the Revelation Space world. This is the third in the Revelation Space trilogy. There's also a prequel, essentially, in Chasm City, which is also excellent. So I've read the 3 of the 4 books. This is the one to finish off the main series. There's tons more by Alistair Reynolds, kind of in the same world. And so this one I'm hoping to get to too, to kind of finish off the year, finish off a couple series so I can add some more series that I'm reading next year as I'm want to do. So anyway, we're entering December is the kind of fun time of the year to, for top 10 lists for the year. I'm finishing up that top 100 fantasy books list here. We're coming down to it. I actually still have to shoot the last couple videos, so those should happen here soon. But again, I'm doing those on a weekly basis, but I have them timed to be able to fit in each week by the end of the year. But you'll be seeing, what I'm looking forward to for next year as far as releases. You'll be seeing my kind of a toned down TBR for the year for next year. Some that I know I'm going to be able to read. I've so missed the mark on my last year's announcement of my TBR for this year that I'm kind of going, okay, I really need to scale back with this and just let myself mood read to a healthier degree, because adding like 30 books of the 55, 60 books I read in a year as a TBR is just clearly not working for me, and I need to make sure that I am leaving plenty of room for any kind of buddy read or whatever anyone peer pressures me into doing. I blame all y'all for being fun and wanting to just chat with great books and great stuff. So anyway, this is on you guys, okay? What the heck? Take zero accountability. Anyway, we got a lot of good videos the rest of the year, and then into the new year, we're planning. So we're gonna, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out how to make, get things a little more consistent, get things a little more on a better schedule, and so I'm working on it to just make the channel better every day. That's the goal. We're getting there. My time is just what limits me a lot on doing that, and a lot of these videos tend to be something that I'll plan in my head for weeks, and then I just have so much time to shoot them and then edit. So we're getting there, and I think we're making this work a little better and better every day. I feel better and better about it. So thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for dealing with my voice here, and which you will have to hear on that Red Seas discussion. But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing, and we will catch you next time. Bye.